just been out and got some more tech screws and some cement. Didn't have enough. Got the old rubber washer in. And some more caps just to hide the screws a little bit. Cutting this as well because I've run out of them to cut the sheets. Yeah, get this done. More rubbish to go. Not Mr. M's trailer. Mr. M the farmer. Get rid of that for us, but yeah, cleaning up nicely out the back. Old paint pots to get rid of there. There's a bit of frame in here for I got filled out with concrete for a lid for the septic tank. Yeah, it's getting there. See, look. 2 of these phones. They're getting battered. And, yeah. A couple of bags there. A bit of timber there I've saved. I'll probably use some of that on the shoring up for the barging. Getting there. Let's get these cut and on the roof. So it's on. Sheeting's on. Ridge profile's on. And it's doing its job because it's raining. And there's no water coming inside. Yeah, that's gone on nicely. There would still be some work to do. There's stonework going in between the rafters. Maybe put on some fascias and soffits and do all of that. But yeah, it's raining and I don't know when I'm going to get to do these concrete barge ends. What a nuisance. That's been a bit tricky setting that up as well, because obviously walls are all over the place and yeah, the roof's nice and straight, but I'm working with wonky ends, but it should come out all right. Cover that off in a video at some point, I guess, but yeah, no, it's looking good. Colour looks nice as well. Lots of stonework to remedy, but it's all secure. Still need to shore up this end, but yeah, there we go. It's dark again inside, but yeah, no, the camera's picking that up all right. I think that's looking pretty good. I'm going to put in another tie at the end there, similar to this one, just to strengthen it up, both ends. Just a small 2x4 on each end will do. Got this large one in the middle that's tied in nicely. Still needs a couple of bolts in, but unfortunately I used the last of the M10 thread I had in trying to secure the shutter in for the barging on the ends. There's plenty of nails and screws in there at the moment holding that. That's 2 pieces tied together, tied in at each end. I'll put some bolts through it at some point. That'll be fine. Windows to sort out. Doors to sort out. I guess I could make a start on the doors while I'm waiting for this rain to ease off a bit. Once the rain eases off, I'll finish off the shuttering on this end. And if I get a long enough break, I'll start mixing up the concrete. Bit of a rush last night, or late till late yesterday, laying the concrete in these gable end barging. So I didn't get a lot of video in done, but we've still got the other side to fill. So hopefully video some of that today. But yeah, I'm rushing against time because next week we've got some rain coming, and we had some rain yesterday as well, hence why I covered that up. Today looks like a good day, so I need to get that done on that side. Yeah, pressed for time now, but hopefully it'll turn out all right. The old John Deere 5310. This used to be owned by the girl's uncle that lived at the cottage for many years. This was his daily farm machine. That's a cool tractor. Mr. M and his son use this next door now, so it's in constant use. Yeah, they've just kindly given us a bit more ballast for the barging, because it looks like I'm going to run out of that. He has got a bit more if I do need it, which is great. So they just dropped it off in the old family tractor. Pretty cool colours as well. I wonder cars get punches up here. Look at these just hanging off the side out of this rusty old box. Probably dropping off all over the road. Back in its home, look. So I'm having to mix up by hand, unfortunately, so it's taking a bit of time. Hence why I've been a bit busy and didn't catch a lot on film, but yeah, I did try and last minute see if I could get a mixer, but they didn't have any available for the weekend, so been doing it by hand, but we'll get there. One more barging side to do. Yeah, let's get that done. Today's been a pretty hectic day, really. But yeah, we got the last of the concrete barging done. Not that you can see it there because it's all still shored up. Get a better look from the back. There you go. That's that all done. I was recording some of this and then the old phone battery ran out as usual, but let's have a quick look around. Right, there you go. There's the side closest to the property and the side closest to the road here. We can have a look. I'll have to leave this shoring on for a few weeks really, let it set hard. I've given it a rough finish there, brushed finish almost. I say brushed, I use my hand to do it. When the side shoring comes off, I do have to do a bit of pointing because what with a wonky building and rough old stones, it was difficult to decide what to do with that. If you can imagine that with the timber shoring off. Job done, I say. Well, not quite. Tomorrow I've got to make up some doors and door frames. There you go. Let's have a look from this side. Look at that. And the eaves there, nice and straight. Rafters, perfect. Lovely job. It's just the stonework that's a nightmare. Yeah, that's going to look lovely once it's... At least once the little windows are sorted out and the doors are sorted out. Shoring's off. With a barging set hard. Clean the roof off a bit. You know, it look lovely. And then it'd just be a case of sorting out the stonework. I need to obviously fill that with stone. There'd be another lintel across there. A bit of stonework above it. Maybe eventually we'll put some fascias and soffits on. Boss wants plastic just to save the aggro of maintenance, but I think a bit of timber would be nice, but I'll have to convince her of that yet. So there you go. Tripping over rope. Right, I think I've done this side anyway, but there you go. I'd say that's a topping off ceremony. What do you reckon? Right, I haven't got any Guinness to end, but Sierra Nevada Pale Ale, that'll have to do. There's the topping off drink. Lovely job.